Welcome to Lead and Follow, a podcast that explores how great collaboration actually happens. I'm your host, Sharna Fabiano, author of the book Lead and Follow, The Dance of Inspired Teamwork. And I'm pleased to bring you the latest research, insights, and learning methods to help you work together better with the people around you. I help founders, solopreneurs, and new leaders become great at collaborating because I've seen how much more becomes possible when people integrate their ideas, perspectives, and strengths in a practical way. To learn more about coaching with me and for a one-time discount on your first session, go to sharnafabiano.com/coaching and enter the promo code podcast. The link is in the show notes. And now, here's the episode. Today I'm speaking with Nixon Jallo. Jallo is a husband, father, chief executive of FOLDEVIN Consults Limited, bishop of Supernatural Love Ministries, rector of Agape Bible College, a writer and researcher based in Jalingo, Taraba State, Northeast Nigeria. He completed a master's degree in theology and is now completing a second one in organizational leadership. And he is author of several books on followership, including Principles of Followership, Understanding Followership and Leadership Fusion, and My Ideal Leader, the Heart Cry of Followers. I'm very excited to have Jallo today on the podcast, and I'm looking forward to hearing how he teaches followership both in local faith communities and also local business communities, as well as maybe getting an update on his newest followership projects. Jallo, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you, Sharna. It's nice being with you. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you. I want to start by kind of giving listeners a little insight into your story. So will you please share with us what first inspired you to develop work around followership?
I first started developing thoughts towards followership back in the year 2003. Before then, I've never heard anything about followership. All I know is leadership. And so suddenly one day I was discussing with my leader. Then he said something and I went back home thinking about it. And I asked myself, why is it that everybody is just talking about leadership and nobody talks to the people that the leader leads? And I believe that I had an inspiration. And from that day, I started making research on followership. And another thing that also motivated me when I got that inspiration is my service. I noticed that I feel more excited helping my leaders to succeed, not really being at the top. So I like it that way. As time went on, I also discovered that it is quite necessary. So I discovered that necessity is one of the reasons why I should talk on followership. There's a big vacuum between the leader and the follower. The knowledge of leadership is so high, and there is little understanding of followership. Interestingly, like I used to tell people, if you put 10 people together, you will hardly get 2 leaders among them. The rest are followers. I mean, these 2 leaders have 8 books to their credit, and the 8 followers hardly have 2 books to their credit, which is not comfortable. So that was how I started working on followership and started developing work and reading on it. And interestingly, I have come this far. I still feel that I'm very much backward as regard followership. I still am developing a lot of things on that area.
Thank you so much. I love that you spoke about being inspired to pursue followership and also of the enjoyment and the satisfaction of being in that role, helping the leader. I think that's really important. I know you do a lot of speaking to different kinds of groups. What else do you feel like is important for people to know in order for them to claim the role of follower for themselves and to enjoy it and to take pride in it?
One of the things that I wish they should understand is the fact that truly followership is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Followership is not a bad thing.
Right.
People will always say, particularly those in the faith cycle in Christianity, they will always say, I'll be the head and not the tail. I want to be the leader. Now, if you want to be the leader, it means you don't want to be led. You want to lead.
Mm-hmm.
But followership is a sign of humility to the fact that I am willing to be led.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two, I am willing to help the leader lead well. So people will always say, I want to be my own boss. I want to become a leader. And the ultimate end that everybody is struggling for is to lead. And if everybody is meant to lead, who will carry out the vision of the leader? One of my most inspirational verses of scripture is in Habakkuk chapter number 2, where the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain, that he may run that readeth it. Now, there are people that are called vision writers, and there are those that are vision runners. From that place, you discover that some people write the vision and others run with the vision. Some are vision runners, and those people that run with the vision are the followers. And therefore, it is quite necessary to understand that if there are vision writers, there should be vision runners. And these vision runners are those you can call followers because they follow the vision of the leader. So followership is very, very important for the vision of the leader or the vision of the organization to be achieved, to be attained. And therefore, the importance of followership can never be overemphasized in an organization.
I love the title of Vision Runner. It's so dynamic, like there's this assumption sometimes that if you're a follower that you're not very active or you're just, passive. But the idea of a vision runner is so exciting, like I want to be that.
Yes.
When you talk with leaders of organizations, the vision writers, maybe, what do you think they need to appreciate and understand about the people who are following them in order to have this relationship be, truly healthy?
Now, when I talk with leaders, I try to make them understand that leadership and followership are not antagonistic to each other. That is one.
Yeah.
Number two, leaders should understand that followers are very important for their success.
Mm-hmm.
Leaders should understand that followers are not just workers to be paid, or they are people that are hired and can be fired at any time.
Yeah.
When a follower is made to feel in an organization that I am here for my pay, I receive money, and therefore I am here for my pay, they will work for the money. They will not work for the vision of the organization. They will not work for the success of the leader. But when they are made to understand that they are partakers of the system, they are partakers of the vision, they are also part of the organization. They are not just there for a time, they are there to make the vision become a reality. Then it will be easier for the leader and the led to work together.
Could you give us a sense of the mindset of a follower who chooses to fully run with the vision in a meaningful way? And would you give us a sense of the scope of that role, or like what is the vision runner role?
Real followers desire three things, or rather, I should say, they should desire three things. Number one, the progress of the leader. Number two, the productivity of the organization. Number three, the harmony of the system between the workers. Other workers working together in harmony and in agreement with each other. Now, these three areas of operation are actually the part of the work of followers. They see to the welfare of the leader and the success of the leader and the achievement of the vision of the leader. They also see to the welfare of the organization, and they make sure that the organization is very productive. And they also see that the other colleagues that work with them in the organization are also healthy and the system is productive through them. The fourth thing is that the consumers that consume the product of the organization are also satisfied. It is not just the work of a leader. The leader gives you direction. The leader tells you this is where we are going to. It is now left for you as a follower to produce the result the leader is hungry for. When followers are made to understand that this organization, you are part of it, even if they are not paid, they will work wholeheartedly because they want to see the leader succeed. And so the followers should be treated well. Now, when I say treated well, I'm not just talking about payment, because there are certain attitudes of leadership that discourage followers no matter how much they are paid. But a good relational attitude, a good environment, a good friendship can make the followers go extra mile, even if they are not paid. So the leader should treat the follower well, and then it will bring about a great productivity in the system.
I think it's so insightful and crucial what you're saying about the money not being the main thing, because especially over here in the United States, we're so, programmed to think about money, but we're human beings. And even if we're at work, or in a community setting, it's really not about the money, right? It's about the people and our relationships. And you've just spoken to that so eloquently. Thank you. It's such a great reminder. And I also want to underline what you're saying about how much the followers do, or how much people do in a followership role in an organization, right? They're responsible for, so much, like almost everything, almost all the material products, right, of what's happening. And I think when we really own that and realize how much value there is there, it changes, right, how you see yourself and how you see your employees. It's really a transformational shift. I wonder if you have seen like the opposite situation, like what happens when followers are not supporting the leader's vision, or if they're not really valuing their own role. Are there conflicts? Are there, certain negative patterns that you see when we're not embracing the importance of this role?
When the importance of this role is not embraced, sometimes it may not look visibly terrible, but with time, it is like an African adage that talk about a drip of the rain can wear out the stone. So sometimes when followership become out of frustration, and they become apathetic towards the vision and the visionary may probably think, well, I don't care. You can do whatever you want. My organization will continue, but give it time. Give it time.
Yeah.
With the lack of participation of the followers and the followership involvement, it will begin to wear out. The glory of the organization will begin to go down. The whole system will begin to deteriorate. And before you remember, it will be more disastrous. Nothing can be done in a system without these followers putting in their best. And so when they are overlooked, when they are not paid attention to, this is the danger. They will start grumbling. They will show their dissatisfaction. Eventually, they will become saboteurs.
Yes.
They will become a clock to the wheel of the progress of the system. Sometimes they will end up being rebellious. They will insist to have their way. And this little thing that the leader sees as if it is nothing, they may end up dethroning the leader. Let me use that word. Mm-hmm. They will dethrone the leader. They will eventually remove the leader. If they do not remove the leader, they will make the leadership redundant and ineffective. Because when the leader's words are not carried, or they are carried wrongly, leadership failure is actually followership failure. When leaders fail, it is because the followers have not done the right thing that they should do to give the leader the required success. Every leader succeeds because the followers carry out the demands and the desire of the leader. Yeah. Every leader succeeds, every organization succeeds because the followers are given the room to show their ability and their skill. So when they are not given that room, when they are not allowed to function properly, they'll become aloof. Mm-hmm. They'll pull out. They may not pull out suddenly. They'll quietly become apathetic towards the vision. Yeah. And the leader will begin to struggle alone. And they will be watching. And before you remember, the system is going down gradually. Productivity will go down. Effectiveness will go down. And the consumers will begin to pull away from the system because what they are looking for in that system is no longer being presented. And the leader will feel, oh, why are things like this? It's because he did not pay attention to the followership. He didn't think about it. That is why I always encourage the idea of let's train the followership. Mm-hmm. Not to train them on effective leadership or leadership. No, let's give them customized training that is followership oriented. I am hoping that as time goes on, we will have a system that will make followership mandatory for everybody, not just for leaders alone.
Yes, I too hope that one day we have followership training for everyone. That would be a different world completely. I'd love to ask a little more about your teaching. I know you use a lot of stories. You mentioned earlier one of your favorite scriptures. Are there any other scriptures or stories, things you found especially effective for teaching followers within the faith communities?
When I teach the faith community, I give a lot of illustrations in diverse ways. For example, in followership, there are different followers. There are followers that I call the leading follower. I'm going to talk about it later. And then there are those that are interns, like people that do internship. Mm-hmm. They are there for a while. Later, they can become leaders. Such people are like Elisha in the Bible. Elisha was a very successful man. Then here comes this prophet that we don't know where he was coming from. He doesn't even have a surname. They call him Elijah the Tishbite. They recognize him by the name of his village. But here is Elisha, the son of Shaphan, who used to be an executive man. He was a farmer with about 24 workers under him. And then suddenly this prophet came and threw a mantle on him. And he followed this man. He said, please allow me. Let me go and bid goodbye to my parents. And he said, no, what have I done to you? Then Elisha burned his bridges. He went and destroyed the yokes, killed the animals, did a barbecue or whatever, and people ate, and he followed Elijah. Now, he followed Elijah. We thought, like I used to jokingly say, I thought he was going to be a member of the board of directors of Elijah Prophetic Ministry International. But he couldn't. He did not. That wasn't what the Bible says. He was pouring water on Elijah's hand. We know that better in Africa. We know what that means, pouring water on a leader's hand. We know it very well because we use our fingers to eat. And so somebody will have to pour water on your hand to wash your hand. And after you finish eating, he still pour water there for you to help you wash your hand. Is the work of a servant. And that's what this rich man was doing. He was serving this no identity prophet. That's followership. And the day that Elijah was to be taken to heaven, he asked Elisha, what do you want from me? And Elisha said, a double portion of your anointing. And he said, you have asked for a hard thing. If you can see me going to heaven, you will receive it. And he did. Now, this is the interesting part of it. Before they went and they crossed River Jordan, Elijah removed his mantle and struck the River Jordan, and the river opened, and they trekked through the river, and they crossed. Now, on the other side, Elijah is now gone. His mantle has fallen. When Elisha was coming back, the River Jordan has gone back to its normal place. Elisha carried the mantle on him and struck the river. And he said, where is the Lord God of Elijah? And the river opened. Now, what happened? He saw somebody did the same thing, and he did it. He learned from somebody. That's the advantage followers have over non-followers. When you follow a leader and you learn from him, you will do what he did so that you can have the success that he had. The same thing happened to Peter. When they went to Jairus' house, his daughter died, and they went and resurrected his daughter. Now Jesus is gone to heaven, and the disciples are left alone. Then Dorcas died, and they called Peter to come. When Peter came, he sent everybody outside the room. He said, everybody get out of here. And everybody went out. And then Peter knelt down beside Dorcas, prayed, and said, Dorcas, arise. And Dorcas got up. Where did he learn that? He learned it from Jesus the day they went to Jairus' house. When Jesus sent away everybody from the house and then held the girl by the hand and said, Talita Kumi, and the girl rose up. But another interesting part of followership that I talk about is the followership between Jacob and his mother. Jacob was a follower of his mother, and his mother taught him how to cook. And he was making very sweet stew. So this day came that Esau came, and he said he needed something. And Jacob said, I won't give you until you trade your birthright with me. Now, most people say that Jacob stole Esau's blessing. No, Jacob did not steal Esau's blessing. Esau sold his blessing. And it was a clean business with a signature on it. Because when they were doing it, Jacob said, did you say you are giving me your blessing so that I can give you this meal? He said, yes. He said, swear to me. And then he said, I swore from today, the birthright belongs to you. How did Jacob get those wisdom of cooking? He learned it from his mother. That is followership. But there are other people also in the Bible that I give their stories as the leading followers, like Joseph in Egypt. Joseph was not in charge of Egypt. There was a Pharaoh over him, and he was answerable to the Pharaoh. He was a leading follower. At that point, he could report back to Pharaoh and tell Pharaoh everything. And he remained in that position until he died. He was never at the top. He was serving.
You're such a wonderful storyteller. Thank you so much for sharing those really nuanced examples of followership, especially when it's connected with service, which is a theme I feel like I'm hearing a lot in your work. And I'm also very struck in these examples of how important it is who we choose to follow, because we invariably become very connected with those people, whether they are teachers or guides or some other sort of leader. They can potentially influence us in a wide variety of ways. And I don't know that we're always fully aware that we're giving them that power, or that that power is something we have to give them. This might be particularly sensitive in terms of political choices we make, but I think it's also true in our spiritual lives and in business, of course. Those people we give our followership to, the people we follow, the people we decide we want to lead us, we do give them power and we give them a certain amount of influence. I do want to go on and ask you about the business world, because I know you speak often to those kinds of groups as well. How do you present followership there? What sort of stories or metaphors work well for you in a business context?
Now, to the business world, I speak to Africans, and I love giving African stories. Many years back in Africa, a great king is known by the number of villages he conquered. You go to war, and after fighting, you conquer territories and you expand your territories. Now, for every territory you conquer as a king, you put somebody there that will be in charge of that place and that area that you conquered. Now, that person could be like a regent, a representative of the king in that place. The idea is that watch over this community, collect their taxes, and send them to me. So these people stay there as the king's deputies in those villages. So the king will be conquering and putting people there. He will conquer this community A, put a king there, a regent there. Community B, put another representative there. Community C, put another representative there. He goes back and sits down as a king because he has given them instructions on what to do. Now, all those people there in those communities, to the people in that community, they are leaders. But to the king, they are followers, because they have to come back and report to him. And they have to give him the details of what they are doing. In followership, no matter how strong you are and how influential you are a follower of somebody that is above you. And so your loyalty should be strongly connected to that person. And every king loves that kind of thing. So kings and subjects and subordinates are examples of followers in different ways. My African people will understand that much better. And in every society, I also give example with CEO and the people that are under them. You're the chief executive officer, and there are people that work under you. There are managers, there are directors, and there are different categories of people that work under you. And such people, they are followers of the visionary. There's a visionary, there's somebody who has the vision, and there are people that help the visionary to succeed. So I give them such examples, and most of the time they understand very well, and they ask me questions, and I let them understand this is the truth of it.
I love that you're pointing out that no matter how much power, like a regent or a vice president might have, they're still following.
Yes.
Right. And that part of their job is still like really important. And if they don't do it, right, that they're not going to succeed themselves. So I think sometimes we forget when we're given a title that even though now we're a leader to some people, we're still a follower to, our supervisor or boss.
That's right. That's right.
I'd love to hear like some of the new things that you're doing. I know you have an idea around followership awards. Will you tell us a little bit about that and anything else you'd like to share about your current work?
Right now, I am working on 2 books. One of them is called The Making of an Exceptional Follower. What makes a follower exceptional? The book is a deliberate guide to all followers on step-by-step processes that they can follow to make the work of a leader and the success of an organization easier, including how you can set your alarm on reminding your leader on certain things to be done. Those small things, I intend to include them in the book. And also, even concerning your leader's birthday, how you can make your leader comfortable on his birthday, because the leaders work a lot and they forget about themselves. It's the work of the follower to help them remember that, hey, you need to relax.
I just want to pause for a moment on this particular tip of remembering the leader's birthday. This is so startling and wonderful because there's a tendency, at least in the United States here, to make leaders somehow like almost not human, like different than the rest of us. They're this special category. But the very personal moment of a birthday really brings them back into the human family. I mean, everyone has a birthday. And to your point, everyone, especially leaders who might be under a lot of pressure, need to take a break. And I love that you are conceptualizing the role of the follower as someone who can help the leader remember that they are human. They too need to take care of their well-being and their body to rest and relax. It's so beautiful that we can do that for each other and that we can kind of see the leading and following relationship in that way.
I'm also working on a book I titled The Leading Follower. I spoke about it earlier on. The Leading Follower. We're working on that book. Then we are working on Followership Award, Exceptional Followers Award. That is what we call it. The intention is to celebrate followers. We want to celebrate followers. We want them to understand how important they are. They are not second fiddle in an organization. They are very valuable. So we are intending to make it an award of excellence in followership in the faith cycle, followership in secular organizations, maybe in government. We have identified some people that are very, very committed to the work of their organization. If leaders that are few in number can be celebrated, what stops us from celebrating the followers that make up the organization and help the leader to succeed? So there should be a time. It is not just to say we are giving you a lifetime leadership achievement. No, we can also give a lifetime followership achievement. Because there are some people that if you put them in leadership, they will pull down the organization. They don't have the capacity to maintain the organization. But you put them under a leader to help the leader succeed. The leader will succeed without limit. Such people should be identified and should be recognized, and they should be celebrated, because we want to validate followership. We want to make the followers understand that they are celebrated, they are recognized, and they are appreciated. Their work is not a waste. Their work is valuable. Their care for the leader is important. Their productivity is celebrated. And their desire for the other people in the organization to succeed is also recognized. These are some of the things I'm doing.
This is such a fabulous idea, and it's very actionable. I wonder if there are some listeners out there who might also like to create their own Excellence in Followership Awards, maybe in their own community group or in their organization. If you do that, listeners, please reach out and tell us about it. I know you've spoken to it already, but this idea of the leading follower, could you define that for us and maybe give another couple of examples so listeners understand what that means to you?
Okay, now when I talk about the leading follower, let me give you an example. I will still talk from my constituency as a pastor.
Of course.
Daniel in the Bible served about 5 kings. Daniel was never in charge. Daniel was always a leading follower. He was always under some leader. There was a king above him, and he was leading others. That was Daniel. And Joseph the same thing.
Mm.
David started as a leading follower when he was serving under King Saul. He was a leading follower. Now, let's give an example with a CEO of a company, president of an organization. This president may have some executives under him, whatever nomenclature they are called by, maybe a director, a manager, or whatever. Such people are leading followers because they have people under them. They are also under somebody.
Okay.
In the book of Matthew, chapter 8, a man came to Jesus, a centurion, a Roman centurion. And the Bible says that Jesus told him, what shall I do? Shall I come to your house to heal the man? The man said, no, speak the word only and my servant will be healed. Then he made a very powerful statement. He said, for I am a man under authority and I have soldiers under me. Look at the progression. He said, I am a man under authority and I have soldiers under me.
Interesting. Okay, I think what I hear is that he's saying he's a follower first and then a leader. Am I getting that right?
He said, I'm a follower and I'm a leader.
Yeah.
And as a follower, I understand that when I give command, that's why he said, when I say to one, go, he goes. And I say to one, come, he comes. I say to one, do this, he does it. Then he said to Jesus, speak the word only and my servant shall be healed. Wow. When I read that, I said to myself, whoa, beautiful. This man is in Jerusalem representing the Roman governor. Anytime the man up there in Rome said, come here, he will come. But as long as he's in Jerusalem, he said to his people, do this, they do it. Do this, they do it. It means there are leaders and there are leading followers. And there are followers that are under the leading followers. So there are followers in category 1, there are followers in category 2, there are followers in category 3 in different levels of followership.
Thank you for describing these multiple levels of followers. That's super helpful because it's the exact opposite of how we usually think of an organizational hierarchy, right? We usually think of it as a series of categories of leader, and we're looking at it from the top. But here you're giving us the other half of the story, the various categories of follower who are necessary to support all of those leaders, identifying that they actually have slightly different roles depending on who they're supporting and where they are in the organization.
Another part of the leading follower is the fact that you lead and you follow, and you follow and you lead. And you lead and you follow, like you describe it in the dance.
Yes.
You are a leader, but can you be vulnerable enough to allow your followers to lead you? A general in the army that cannot listen to a lieutenant will fall into trouble.
True.
Both of them work together as a team. So another idea of that book is that we are a team. Let's work together.
Yes, super important. Yeah, so important that the person at the top, right, it has that support. They can say, I need you to give me your expertise, your advice here. That's so important. Yeah. Any other tips you have for listeners to try out?
Interestingly, the followers are those that organize the life of a leader. They organize the life of a leader. Most leaders don't even have time to organize their lives.
Right.
It is the followers that organize their lives. Sometimes it is the followers that decide which dress the president should wear.
True.
The president wakes up in the morning and they said, this occasion, you need to wear a black suit.
Yep.
And they said, this occasion, you're going to wear an ash suit. No, you are not wearing this shoe, you're wearing this one. And if the leader says no, I remembered one time we were to have an occasion. In those days when Nigeria used to have a military government, I went to the governor with some of my friends to invite him for an occasion. Unfortunately for our people, they didn't come out early. So the governor came and saw that the place was almost empty. People were not there as he expected. He went back and said, when people are ready, let me know. So when people were ready, we went back to tell the governor that people are ready. He was ready to come, and his ADC said, sir, you go out there at your risk. And obviously a military man knows what that means. You go out there at your risk, which means if somebody shoots you there, I am not in.
Wow.
And the governor said, sorry, just go, I will come after you.
Okay.
We left and he never came.
Wow.
A major is telling him, if you go there, it's at your risk. And he couldn't go. That was a follower.
Yeah. He listened. He listened to the follower.
Yes. That's how powerful followers can be. That's how powerful followers can be. I remember the story of a governor who also went out to buy some things on the street. He secretly went out without his guys knowing about it. And knowing how volatile the community is, the moment they went there, they virtually bundled their boss into the car. And they told him, you don't come out like this. It's risky for you. And They took him back home. But they bought what he needed and took it to him at home and told him, this is it, sir. Your office does not permit you to go out in the public the way you did.
Well, sometimes they need to be forceful, those followers. Yeah, incredible.
Sometimes they must insist on the right thing, but they must not insist in arrogance. They must not insist in rebellion. The leader should be able to trust the follower absolutely, knowing that even if they are resisting the follower aggressively, the leader knows that they are doing it from the depth of their heart. They are not doing it out of despite for the leader.
I imagine it's that trust that allows the follower to be so insistent, right, in those moments when it matters, and that the leader will listen, because there's that trust. Jallo, are there any final thoughts you'd like to share with listeners today?
The reason why there is too much leadership and too little success is because followership has been denied its place. And people have not recognized how important followership is. They see followers as employees. They see followers as servants. They see followers as those that are not very valuable. And they have made followers feel that unless I am a leader, I am not as important as other people. It's a wrong notion. That ideology should be removed from people's mind, and let's celebrate the followers. Thank you, Shana.
Beautiful note to end on. Yes, let's celebrate the followers. I couldn't have said it better. Jallo, thank you so much for all of your wisdom. It's such a pleasure to speak with you. And I look forward to following your work, and I look forward to our next conversation. Thank you again.
Thank you, Shana. Anytime.
You have been listening to the Lead and Follow podcast. Special thanks to Glover Gill for composing our music. And a huge thank you to all of you who support the show. It really means a lot. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend or consider joining the Lead and Follow fan club for as little as $3 a month. There's a link at the bottom of the show notes.